Hey everybody, this is the Jacksonville Spartan Sprint 2022. I'm really excited about this race because it's the first race of the age group US National Series. Really exciting. It's the first sprint I've ran in a long time. I've just been doing a lot of supers. Even when I run other races like Savage, it's always a 6-mile distance. I knew it was gonna be fast, but I didn't realize it was gonna be this fast. We're running low sub 6 minute mile pace right now, and you can see people are just passing me. Usually with supers, I always try to start strong, but not try and lose it in the first mile, which you can do in a 3-mile race too, but you can't start too slow. I know there's water that will give me a chance to catch my breath. So in the beginning, I'm pushing, but I'm not pushing enough because there's people passing me still. But I know that they're going to blow up. I know some are going to fail obstacles. So I'm not too concerned, but people just keep passing me. So eventually I do become concerned. I probably could have started faster, but I don't really finish the race strong. So I definitely could have done better in some areas, but I think I did well in other areas. So this is the water. Nothing crazy here. It goes waist deep. It's kind of cool and refreshing. I don't really try and push too hard because I don't think you don't get an equal return to what you put into it. Like it wears you out more than what you're gonna get from it. Kind of my same thought on the mud. The mud I push, but I don't try to like really push and make moves on people. It was really muddy today too, as you saw. It was muddy to begin with. It's all really Florida has. It doesn't have mountains to slow you down and wear you out, so they do a good job at using the mud. Here's monkey bars, first obstacle, failable obstacle. This is one of the things that I should have done differently. I went with the safe hand sideways, like matching each bar. It wasn't as fast, but it is safer. But the conditions weren't too ridiculous. Like they weren't cold, they weren't slippery, they weren't wet. So I should have taken a more aggressive approach. But back to the mud. Yesterday, this is a really muddy section, and race was on Sunday. So on Saturday, thousands of people came through and just really tore up the ground. So it was very muddy today. Sandbag carry early in the race. I think we're only a mile in. And one of the things I did is I took a few extra seconds here to pull up the bag and make sure all the sand went down to one side. Then I folded over the empty side and condensed it all. That way I could really put it like in between my shoulders on my back. And I was able to move really well with the sandbag that way. I was able to pass a few people. I mean, people were passing me. I was trying to push. I knew that Saturday I made up a lot of ground on people, and so I tried to do the same here. Holding the sandbag that way definitely helped out a lot and made a difference. It was worth the extra 3 seconds in the beginning. Here is something that I'm really upset about with Spartan. Saturday we had this issue, and then again on Sunday we have this issue. But you can see people are waiting for a sandbag. It doesn't make sense to me. It's a competitive race. It's the national series. People train and work hard. People pay a lot of money to come out here, and they expect a good race. And this happens. It's not their first year. They're not a new company. Things like that should not be happening. If Spartan watches this race or this video, which I doubt they will, maybe they'll change something. Here comes some more mud. It was thick and it was exhausting. It wears on your legs. And then here you can see that guy stuck, and his Atlas ball was stuck. I grabbed one that wasn't in the mud or in that little hole, and I ended up passing him because of that. So every little second counts. I was nice and set it for the other guy outside of the hole. But little things like that make a difference. Here comes another water crossing. Good chance to catch your breath, cool down, throw some water on your body, your head, wash your hands. One guy pushes through. Again, like I don't think it's worth it. Me personally, some others, I mean, like I pass them right back into running. For the most part, all the muddy sections are really over, and now you can really open up and run. But like I said, that mud really tires you out. Something interesting to know is we just passed the 2-mile marker, according to Spartan. Not my watch, but Spartan. And we've only done a few obstacles. Here comes the turquoise. So right here is where I noticed that I was pretty tired. I didn't really take the week leading up to the races easy, and it showed. My arms were pretty tired. But instead of doing the hand over hand and just standing there and muscling it up, I ended up doing the where you grab it and then just fall back, and that worked pretty well. Went just about as fast and conserved a lot of energy. Here's the cargo net. So leading up to the races, I watched a lot of old races with the pros and see what they did. And one of the things is I always flip at the top, but I noticed that when you flip twice and sometimes 3 times, it makes a big difference. Like that guy flipped twice, so then I was like, all right, here, let me go. I ended up kicking the guy, and I ended up hitting my back on the bar. So that's something I need to work on. Here comes the spear throw. So spear throw is always one that lives rent-free in my head, and I'm always scared of. So I always try to take my time, slow down. This one I kind of messed up. I feel like I felt bad, but the guy let me go ahead of him. I don't know, he could have said no, and then I would have just gone to another one. But I don't think that the way age group is, you know, like we're the last one to go, the 30 to 39. So we have all these other age groups going ahead of us, and now we're waiting in line for things. Like,
let's go. Thanks, man.
I don't know. It was frustrating. It is what it is. But it gets worse. So I hit my spear. You saw that a lot of people miss their spear. A lot of people usually miss their spear. And it's a great opportunity to pass people. If you have the money, I would invest in making a spear and practicing at your house. That's what I did, and it really paid off. Here's Helix. Nothing crazy about this one. But coming up, I knew from the day before that Z-Wall was going to be tough. So Z-Wall is the next obstacle, and they run us through this mud, and it is bad. Like I said, Saturday went through thousands of people. It was bad then. It's only worse now. Like I just fell. You were walking, and it's like up to your knees. Someone lost their shoe, I heard. The trees are covered in mud, so now my hands are covered in mud. I fell. I'm trying to move through as fast as I can, but and then after this is Z-Wall. So now Z-Wall is tough to begin with, but now you're tired and you're covered in mud, and it's covered in mud. And here's where I think Spartan messed up again. You can see we're waiting in line. So I went through the video again, and I waited in line for 40 seconds. Now I could have went and done burpees, and I thought about it. But I decided to stay. There shouldn't be a line, is my opinion. But you can see all the mud. And people are like kicking their boots or their shoes to knock mud off. My buddy ended up falling off because someone was kicking the Z-Wall and he fell. The mud was really on the beginning. And then once you kind of got past the first few, it cleared up a lot. But here I went with the blind side first, and I ended up slipping and ended up catching myself on the post. So my feet stayed on, but my hands slipped and I caught the post, and I'm telling you, I was terrified. I was able to regain my hand grip, and I got back up, and I kept going. But the entire time I was nervous. And so then this guy behind me, he's like rushing me. He was like cheering me on or something. I felt bad, but I told him to like stop talking to me. But so sorry, guy, for being rude. But like I said, you can see there's not as much mud because not as many people made it this far. I jumped, made it, passed all those people in the burpee pit. But yeah, Spartan needs to work on not having lines like that. That's ridiculous in a competitive race like this. Here comes tubes. These are dumb in my opinion. Whew. These are dumb in my opinion. And now here in this part of the course, it's really cool because now the mud's gone. There's no more, well, the mud's gone. And you can really open up and run. So the only really big obstacle left is the bucket carry. And I like carries a lot. I think, in my opinion, I'm good at them. So my approach to these is to attack them and really push and don't stop. The only thing is that they try to make this STFU thing out of the bucket carry, and it made it really narrow and really hard to pass anybody. So I would be more of a fan of opening up these bucket carries so you can really get through and pass people and move as fast as you can. I don't know what place I'm in, but I do know that I saw someone who ran that is fast. Something interesting about this race, not only is it a sprint and it's fast, not only is it an age group series, so there's going to be more people, but oh, I fell right there. Tripped over a rock. But there was people that ran yesterday in this super that ran elite. I know this is a topic of discussion on social media on whether people should do that. I don't care. You can do whatever you want. In my opinion, competition is always welcomed, and I think it just makes people better. So there were people who ran elite in the super, came down and ran the age group for the series. But there's that guy, and I knew that I was close to him, so I knew I was doing okay. Here comes the rope climb. So a lot of people were failing this. These ropes were covered in mud. I got lucky and found one that was pretty dry, and I was able to get up it pretty quick, and that was great. I passed a lot of people there. But it really helps to be able to do that like J hook and be able to use your feet and your hands. And I mean, if it's muddy and you can't do it, then you can't do it. But let's see. Comes vertical cargo net. The last real thing is we're almost done. Sprints are quick. I finished in like 41 minutes. It says it's 3.1 miles, but it wasn't. It was like 3 3/4, almost 4. So I know that here's where I got to push and try and go fast. And honestly, looking back at the video, I could have done a lot better. So you can see I'm swinging, but I'm only going ring to ring. And I think swinging is slow when you do ring to ring like that. Now, if I was skipping rings, it would have been fast, but I was going to every single ring. Usually I try to do it kind of similar to monkey bars and match, but I was tired. Like thinking back and looking at this video, I was tired. I was trying to run fast, but I don't know if it was the super the day before or what, but I started off too fast maybe. But I was walking up to the ring, the multi-rig. I walked up to the rope climb. So those are signs that I know that I'm not pushing as hard as I can. That barbed wire crawl was a pain in the ass. Took I think 2 minutes for me to get up that thing, and it was just covered in mud. But here comes the final stretch. So it's rolling mud, dunk wall, and then slip wall, and that's it. Again, at the end, you just got to push. And another thing is the guy ended up passing me here. Now with the age group, you don't know who's who. You don't really know what position you're in. And it's kind of a good thing and a bad thing sometimes. And this time it was bad. I saw that guy right there just jumped in the water. He was in my age group. I saw that he was running fast. He looks close to my age, so I should have pushed. I mean, I was pushing, but he just was pushing more. And he ends up, I got 7th in my age group, and he got 6th. So it is what it is. Beat me by 2 seconds. I come slip wall. And that's it. It was a great race. First one in the National Series. Loved it. It was muddy. It was fast. It was crazy. The next one I'm going to try to do is Utah, and then after that Asheville, and hopefully I do well. 7th, like I said, for this one, and we'll see how I do in the next ones.